just who we are again early in the morning in a parking lot, sitting and relaxing in the car, waiting for the train to come. We're all waiting for that train to come, aren't we? The train to love, the joy to success, the train to a beautiful world. We are all waiting for it. We're all hoping for it, and some of us are working with our hands and our hearts to bring that beauty and wisdom to life, while others are destroying everything because they have an idea of beauty that does not match with ours or with the universe, I don't think. Their idea of beauty is one small group of people who are incapable of loving, ruling the planet, and running everything. These are people who find joy in destruction, in pain, and in suffering. I'm reminded of an old Star Trek picture where they beamed some entity aboard, and this entity drew its life force from fighting and violence. And so it pitched two groups of people together, and every time they started to negotiate, it would flare up. It would irritate them. It would bring up old hatreds and old prejudices and get them to fight so it could suck the energy from these people. And it did this over and over and over again, not wanting the people to die, but wanting them to fight, to struggle, to send off that negative energy. Unfortunately, I think that the rulers of this world, whether you say they're some ethereal beings or human beings, somehow tap into that negativity, and they love it. I think many of them hate themselves so much that they love to be hated by others so they can resist, so that they can pretend like all of the hatred is coming from the outside. They can pretend like they're very powerful because they're resisting all of the attacks, when in reality, all they're doing is avoiding the fact that they hate themselves, instead of going into that hatred and destroying it and doing something wonderful and beautiful and positive. What they're doing is giving in, being like robots, reacting instead of acting, and the only action is planning and plotting how to react, not using their brains and their mental capacities in order to change the way they're about to react or to influence their reaction. They're stuck in a pattern. They react the same way. And their energy is used not to change the reaction or to react better, but to be able to force that reaction. Is this good or bad? Depends on one's point of view. If one is one of those people, it can be the best thing in the world. If not, it's disastrous. And so here we are again on this earth all together, talking and hearing and listening to the things that are going on as the world seems to be shattered once again. And I say once again because a lot of people say that this existence is much older than we have been told, and that growth, creation, and destruction have taken place in cycles over and over and over again, with one group of advanced people somehow surviving and then coming out in order to restore the rest of the world after it has gone through a decline in hell. Well, we here now are the ones who are looking at the world as it is declining and going through hell. Maybe we can slow it down. Maybe we can stop that cycle. Maybe we can continue to have the wisdom and knowledge of the human being spiral upwards and outward until we return back to the source from which we come and bring all of that knowledge, all of that wisdom, all of that cosmology into the world so that we can have paradise on earth, so that we will become the advanced beings that we are looking for most of the time. That is my hope, and that is a possibility. We can all do it step by step. We can do it in ourselves by realizing who and what we are. And our families and communities can benefit from that as they begin to see themselves in the mirror of our eyes. And they begin to realize who and what they are just by our presence and by the way we behave and treat them. We have the power to bring beauty into this world. We have the power to bring love into this world, and we have the power to be the love that we want to bring in. That, I think, is the quest of each and every human being. Thanks for being with us on the channel. Subscribe, follow us. It helps with the algorithm so that we can grow and do more interesting videos. Visit our website. You'll find a link below, and you can also find a link to our weekly podcast. It's good to be with you. May you know love, peace, beauty, and light, and be ever wonderful. Namaste.
Sometimes you just want to get away from it all. You go to a place where the air is fresh, the sun is so warm, shining down upon you, and all that is there is beauty. The water is so smooth that it seems that you can look down and see to the bottom. Everything reminds us about wonders of life and how far and wide we can see and understand what's going on. Yes, looking within and going through the beautiful trails always reminds us that there's something better than all of the troubles and all of the worries that we seem to face. Be reminded when you visit nextstepcoaching.mysite.com and find Spreaker and many helpful articles. Join us.